Hello everybody. Welcome to my little video of today. And today I want to talk about something that's very near and dear to my heart. I love this thing. It's something that means a lot to me, and that is cheese. I love cheese. I'm obsessed with cheese. I'm a girl from Wisconsin, and cheese has been like a really big part of my life ever since I was like a kid because it is what Wisconsin is known for. Think of like people going to a Packer game with like cheese hats, things like that. That is what Wisconsin is known for, and it's really, really interesting. Today I wanted to rank a ton of different kinds of cheeses for this video and just see which cheese comes out on top. I have 10 cheeses that we're ranking today, and let's see how we think about this. First up, we have Kraft Singles. Kraft Singles are what I think of when I think of quintessential childhood like snack. It was just like a little piece of like manufactured cheese wrapped in plastic. And Kraft Singles are very interesting because they're not technically cheese, in my opinion. I don't think they're cheese. It kind of tastes like plastic. If you think of like how much we like this cheese on the cheese ranking, it is like plastic. But I don't know, they're very useful for some scenarios. One thing I didn't know about Kraft Singles until I was researching for this video was that they come in different flavors. They come in American, white American, 2% American, and like cheeseburger, like cheese. And to me that like is interesting, but okay. The cheese burger kind of cheese, I don't know, I don't eat cheeseburgers, but I thought that was American anyways. So that's something that maybe gives Kraft a little bit of some more points in this ranking, is that they have different flavors. The other thing about Kraft Singles is that they make great grilled cheeses. Even they know this in their marketing. They just make great grilled cheeses. It's what you think of when you think of a grilled cheese, is Kraft Singles. You might recognize this. This is the tier list. This is what we're going to be using to rank all of our foods. We have up in S tier over here, that is going to be our best cheese. And down in E tier is going to be our worst cheese. Because this one didn't come with an F tier for some reason, and it's just an image that I copied and pasted. But for Kraft Singles, we have to think it's bad. The cheese is bad, but it is iconic. It is childhood. It is very useful for grilled cheeses. So I think it should go in D just because of those facts. But that's okay, because we'll have many other opportunities to rank other cheeses higher. And I personally think if we rank especially Kraft cheese too high, we will not have room for all of our other cheese varieties. Next up, we have mozzarella cheese. Mozzarella cheese is very useful and iconic to use. So we have things like pizza, which uses mozzarella cheese, or you can just eat the cheese on the like cheese balls itself. Or shredded cheese, which I mostly put on my pastas, and string cheese. Mozzarella cheese is very versatile, but I think it's a little bit boring. It's a little bit plain. It's just there. It's a classic, but it's not like perfect. It is perfect in that sense, but it doesn't do what we absolutely need it to do. So I think mozzarella cheese on our tier list, it should be ranked B tier. I think B tier is pretty good. That leaves us to rank higher cheeses way above that, and then we don't have to worry about ranking it too high, because I think there's cheeses that are way better than mozzarella cheese, but mozzarella cheese is still very good and it's very much needed. Next up, we have cheese curds. I love cheese curds. Again, I'm from Wisconsin, so our thing about cheese curds in Wisconsin is that we are able to go to like cheese factories around like the state, and a lot of times they have fresh made cheese curds that day there. So when you get fresh made cheese curds, they are quite literally squeaky. Like when you bite into them, it is like squeaky cheese. I also live near a town that manufactures a lot of the cheese curds for Wisconsin, which is Ellsworth Cheese Curds. It's interesting. You can go get, if you go to the actual place, you can get the like squeaky cheese there. But there's also a lot of other cheese factories that you can get squeaky cheese from. Another thing about cheese curds is that they come in different like flavorings. So like Cajun or dill pickle. I like the dill. Well, it's not dill pickle, it's just dill. I like the dill one a lot. I think it's really good. And they also come in different colors. I don't know if it's like cheddar or mozzarella. I just have always thought of it as like yellow cheese and white cheese, and that's what I think of. I don't really categorize it. But then also with cheese curds, you can get them fried. So fried cheese curds are found in places like Culver's or many restaurants, and they're like breaded. These are the breaded ones. They are so good. And it's kind of like a mini mozzarella stick, you know? But then in Wisconsin, we also have beer battered cheese curds, and beer battered cheese curds are some of the like best things. I love them. I don't really know what's in the batter besides beer, but it's really good. And you can dip these in marinara sauce. I think there are so many like benefits for cheese curds. So personally, I'm gonna put them in S tier because they're just very versatile. They're a great snack, and they're one of the best appetizers out there. Next up, we have block cheese. If you can tell by my reaction, I do not like block cheese. I think it's okay. But you'll notice that in this video, I haven't been rating like species of cheese, I guess. That's what you would call them. I've been more ranking like types and like what you can do with cheese. And so with block cheese in particular, it's like a good snack. You can shred it. Tillamook is a big brand when it comes to block cheese, but I don't really like most block cheeses. I think it's kind of disgusting. The one cheese that I do like, it's from this place called Katie Cheese, which is kind of ironic because my name is Katie. And I think that block cheese just, in most regards, is kind of bad. I don't really like it. It's not really special. So honestly, I'd rate it in C tier. It's definitely better than Kraft Singles. Definitely better than Kraft Singles, but worse than mozzarella cheese for sure. So C tier I think is just its perfect little spot. Then we have goat cheese. You see these little guys? They make cheese. You would think, oh, it's so good. They're so cute. Like, no. It creates this very soft, sour kind of cheese, and it's because they have different milk enzymes in them than cow milk, so it doesn't result in the same kind of cheese, and it results in a more sour taste. I've had this a couple times, and I mostly have it with my uncle, and yes, I love him, but it's not that great. I don't actually really like it. I kind of want to puke after eating goat cheese, I won't lie. You also can't use it in any recipes really, and I think that overall it's just really bad. Yeah. And honestly, I would put it in F tier. It's really, really, really just not that great. Next up, we have the one and only cottage cheese. Cottage cheese has become very big lately, and that is because of the rise of consumers wanting more protein in their food. Even if you look at like packaging for it, cottage cheese is labeled as an excellent source of protein in almost every single cottage cheese label. The other thing about cottage cheese is that each brand has a different texture, and like their like clumpiness of the cheese will be different. So some will be more watery, some will be more like tiny pieces, some will be bigger pieces. But it depends on the brand, and whatever brand you like is going to be the best cottage cheese for you. I eat cottage cheese like every day. I eat it for breakfast. And I usually have the Kemp's cottage cheese. I don't know if this is also a Wisconsin thing. I think it might be just based on like ice cream, because they don't have... Ironically, Kemp's ice cream doesn't exist outside of Wisconsin, I don't think. Somebody please tell me if I'm wrong. But I've talked to my friends, like where I am from, like I live closer to, like, I live western, so maybe that has something to do with it, but I don't know if Camp's cottage cheese is a thing everywhere. Mostly Daisy is like the one thing that you think of when you think of cottage cheese. You think of the little song that goes along with it. The other thing about cottage cheese is everybody says to put them in recipes, and I think that's bad. We should not be putting it in every single recipe. Your egg bake might be one thing, and like for a side, like I like to have it with pizza sometimes because I think it adds a good source of protein. But I'm not replacing my yogurt bowl with cottage cheese because it tastes different. It is not the same thing. So cottage cheese I like, but it has its disadvantages with it's way too overhyped, I think. So I put it in B tier because I think it just is a little bit overhyped in that way, and it's better if it like isn't, because then people just think, oh, it's cottage cheese, it's normal. My printer started to go off. What the heck? Okay. This next take is a little bit controversial because it's not cheese at all. I put cheesecake on this list because I think we need representation from every single side of cheese. For appetizers, for dinners, and then for dessert, right? So cheesecake is made out of often sour cream, which isn't cheese, and then cream cheese. My printer's going off again. Shut the hell up, printer. I have my printer in my room. Somebody help me. Okay, so cheesecake, because it has cream cheese in it, that's why I'm considering it cheese, as we are not ranking actual cheeses today. We are just ranking whatever I want to rank because it's my video. But cheesecake, I love cheesecake. It's a great dessert. It's very light and airy, especially after eating a big meal. You can't, like a slice of cake is kind of heavy, but a cheesecake that's light, that's airy, and it feels fancy. I love a good graham cracker crust, and often you compare it with sauces like caramel, chocolate, or just like fruit, which I love fruit and cheesecake. And you can even make the cheesecake different flavors, which I think brings it up a lot. I think it's kind of obvious where I'm going to put this, but we're putting it in S tier. I know it's not cheese, but hear me out. It's cheesecake. I love cheesecake. It's the best. Next up, we have queso. Queso is more of a like appetizer than anything. Queso just means cheese in Spanish, if you didn't know that. So queso is a very broad thing for me to just put on this list. But I think it's good with nachos. It's good as an afternoon snack. It's good at Mexican restaurants. But I would never go out of my way to make like homemade queso. I've never tried it. I think it just would be okay. Otherwise, like in a house, you need to have like your jar of queso to have queso for an appetizer. So based on that, queso is gonna go like C tier. I think I would eat it. I eat block cheese as an appetizer. I will also eat queso cheese as an appetizer. In Wisconsin, cheese boards have been around forever. It is not new to make like a charcuterie board, but most people just do cheese boards with like crackers and sometimes meat. So in my mind, as a girl from Wisconsin, that is what I associate like an appetizer with. And I think queso is also very much in that regard. So that's why I'm putting it in C with block cheese. Next, we have mac and cheese. Now, again, this is not cheese, but mac and cheese is actually delectable. I love mac and cheese so much. And I think it's just something that is delicious. And you should really think like, oh, mac and cheese? You might be like, Katie, mac and cheese is like for kids. Yes, I was a picky eater until I was probably like 14. And then I started eating things that were different because I realized in my house we just grew up without having like a lot of variety and trying things. But mac and cheese was like my go-to as a girl who was a super picky eater. So I just have a special heart of my mac and cheese. I probably eat it once a week still. And the other perk about mac and cheese is that you can bake it. And this is where I get into the discussion of, is mac and cheese a meal or is mac and cheese a side? And I personally think it's a meal, but I do not knock anybody who thinks it's a side. You just eat it in a smaller quantity. Mac and cheese is just delicious, and I think that it deserves to be pretty high on our tier list. And the only spot open that didn't have anything in it was A tier, so I think mac and cheese deserves to go in A tier. Now, our loser. Our loser is a cheese that just doesn't hit the mark. You can't put it in recipes. It's not a good appetizer. Although we love the animal it comes from, it's bad. It's goat cheese, okay? This goat is adorable, by the way. Like, the goat that I picked out for this picture, adorable. But that poor goat will not make any good cheese, and I think we just need to appreciate goats for what they are. Cute little animals and not things that need to make cheese for us. But our winner is obviously cheese curds. I went through this back and forth. I was like, I can't make a cheese video and not have actual cheese win. So cheese curds, as you can see in this image, that those ones look very squeaky. But cheese curds, I think overall just have a special place in my heart. They're just a great snack, and you cannot think of Wisconsin without cheese curds. Well, I hope that you all enjoyed my ranking of cheese curds. Let me know what else I should rank, because I love ranking things and I love making little videos like this. So please like and subscribe if you got it all the way through here, because that's surprising. It's a cheese video. What are you doing? But yeah, thank you for watching. Bye!